Let's go ahead and get down to it. For this first set of hands, we're going to be dealing with a 5-10 6-max table. Everybody's got 100 big blind stacks. We're going to be in the cutoff, and as you'll see, the button turns out to be an aggressive 3-better, but I'm gonna come in assuming that we've just sat down at this table and maybe we don't know that much about the other players at the table. So we're just coming in cold. Action folds around 7-6 suited in the cutoff. Certainly going to be raising this. Okay, we get 3-bet by the button. Now, as I said, at this point we don't know anything about the button's 3-betting tendencies, and we don't know anything about how he plays post flop. How often is he going to continuation bet? Will he double barrel? Will he slow play? Will he play pot control? We don't know any of that about him. Without knowing any of that stuff, I think it would be crazy here to call with 7-6 suited. I see people do it, and I think it's just awful. 100 big blind stacks, it's not like your implied odds are that good. You're going to have great difficulty showing down a one-pair hand, even when it is best against a decent player. You don't know, even if you do flop draws, and I mean, this is a good hand to try to semi-bluff. If we knew that the button were 3-betting us aggressively, we could try to call here and then check shove on him anytime we flop a good draw. But the problem is we don't know that about the button, and if he's a tight player, then we're going to be check shoving into his big pairs, and all we have is like a bare flush draw, and we're not going to overcard to his pair. We're going to be putting a lot of money in the pot with 20-25% equity pre-flop, and then if we're lucky, 30-33% equity post-flop. We're really going to be bleeding money. So without knowing anything about who the button is, we definitely want to be folding this the first time around. But we're going to make a note. Okay, we've been 3-bet by the button now one time. So next time around to our cutoff, we raise with ace-jack offsuit, button 3-bets again. All right, this is getting old. Now we start to have some hint that he might be an aggressive player. We've opened 2 cutoffs, and he's 3-bet us both times. But it's still not a guarantee, right? It's only 2 hands. And even if we knew that he's an aggressive 3-better, ace-jack offsuit is a difficult hand to defend with. Especially if he's smart and he knows that you know he's an aggressive 3-better. You're still going to have difficulty, honestly, playing top pair for a really big value. He'd have to be really over-aggressive for it to get to the point where I'm like super happy to flop ace-jack on a jack-high flop against the button 3-better. Even 100 big blinds. It can be a tricky situation at best, where what you're really doing is kind of cutting your losses rather than actively having a plus EV situation. And it might seem like, well, if I'm folding ace jack, this is going to be way too exploitable. Ace jack's the top of my cutoff raising range. It's true that you can't be folding, I don't even know where ace jack falls, but let's say ace jack is like top 6% of hands. So it's true that you can't be folding that often to an aggressive button 3-better, but ace-jack, just because it's in the top 6% of hands, doesn't mean it's in the best 6% of hands to defend with. Certainly you're going to want to defend when you have big pairs, when you have ace-king suited, ace-queen suited, even ace-jack suited I think is okay. But there's a lot of hands I'd rather have than ace-jack offsuit, even though technically ace-jack offsuit might be a better hand than 10-8 suited, for instance. I'd much rather have 10-8 suited when I'm defending here.